Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Jack Russell Brewery. This is my first time here. At least I think it's my first time here. This is absolutely beautiful. I just hope the sky doesn't open up on us, but at least we're under umbrellas. Thank you so much for coming this evening to our Women's Fund El Dorado member celebration. We have missed 4 events. The last time we were all together was the ballot showcase in January 2020. We missed the May Gala. We missed last October's event. We missed January's ballot showcase this year, and we missed the May Gala this year. So this is the first time we have all been together in a really long time, and I'm absolutely thrilled, and hopefully all of you are thrilled to be together again. Yay! My name is Emily Smith. I'm the current chair of the Women's Fund Cabinet. We've got a lot of cabinet members and former cabinet members here this evening. I just want to start by thanking each and every one of you for being members of this organization. We've had an extraordinary past, 18 months between the pandemic and then the horrific Caldor fire, and just pots breaking, pans dropping. Are you okay?
I'm just adding to it.
Okay. Okay. But I just want to thank each and every one of you for being here tonight and being members of this organization. We are a member-run group of individuals, predominantly women, but it's wonderful to see all the men here this evening that band together in spirit and with our pocketbooks to try to make life better for so many who need help on the western slope of El Dorado County. So give yourselves a round of applause. I just want to thank all of you so much. We could not do what we do without you. Speaking of member-run organization, I'm sure that all of you are aware we have 7 committees. Our committees are education, events, grants, lighthouse, marketing and communications, membership, and site visit. We have openings on all 7 committees. So if any of you are interested in joining a committee and actually getting a little more involved with the Women's Fund, please go over to the membership table that there at the back. Amy, you want to wave your hands? Amy Pooley, our angel, and Vera, our other angel. We would love to have folks sign up and volunteer for our committees. It's a wonderful way to get involved. First of all, I want to thank our sponsors. We have a list of our sponsors here: silver level, bronze level, our WIC line sponsor. So I just want to call out Serrano and El Dorado Savings Bank, Christine Rieg at Cap Trust at our silver level, our bronze level, Carter Kelly, Cold Springs Dental, El Dorado Disposal, Marshall Medical, Nugget Markets, and Red Hawk Casino. Our WIC line sponsor, U.S. Bank. And then the event sponsors for tonight, again, John, Old Town Grill. John, we can't thank you enough. You always feed us so well. Daniel Jarcuri with Vine Music. Daniel, I don't know where he went. Maybe he's eating. Oh, there he is. And of course, Jack Russell. We were not going to have this event here. As of 2 weeks ago, we were still supposed to be at the fairgrounds. And as you all know, even though base camp's no longer there for the Caldor fire, now all the hazmat and cleanup crews are there. So that's why it's still not open to the public and why the fair was canceled. So they're still using it as a base camp of sorts. But Amy Pooley scrambled, as she always does, and found this wonderful venue for us. So thank you, Amy, and thank you, Jack Russell Farm and Brewery. This was very last minute. And then, of course, we don't want to forget to call out the El Dorado Community Foundation, which is our fiscal agent. So thank you to all of our sponsors. So tonight we have the pleasure of sharing with you. Normally on October's event, we have a keynote speaker. We've had Wendy Thomas in the past. We've had a variety of wonderful speakers. But tonight we're going to be sharing stories from 3 of the grant recipients, the organizations that are grant recipients: New Beginnings, Gold County, Hands for Hope, and Studio 81. And then we're also going to hear from a WIC line scholar. So please keep in mind that as you're listening to the stories tonight from these three grantees. These would not be possible without the continued generous contribution of each one of you and your membership. So these are stories because of you. So with that, I'm going to get started with our first speaker, Emily Burns. There you are. My name's Emily too, so it's easy to remember your name. So Emily Burns is with New Beginnings Gold County, and
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. My name is Emily Burns, and I am from New Beginnings. We received an ACORN grant for $8,000 called Cornerstone of Hope for our educational side. We have an auto repair shop, and we have been doing classes for at-risk youth and for felons residing in our reentry homes. The objective of the grant was to reduce recidivism in our community by providing educational tools and long-term employable job skills to men and women being released from juvenile hall, jail, and prison. The grant that was provided hired a part-time educational teacher and some equipment needed for the purpose of training. Throughout the course of the grant period, we were able to complete a semester that had 7 graduates who were all felons residing in our reentry homes. They received certificates of completion, and if they chose to follow that career path, they would now all be able to talk themselves into an entry-level position at any auto repair shop. In 2019, we had 3 semesters of classes specifically for juveniles on probation. Due to COVID, we were unable to secure funding during the grant period for juveniles on probation, but we will continue to offer them in the future. We hope that these kids will have an opportunity to not end up in jail or prison if they continue to stay on the path that they are on. Because of the generous grant we received, we were also able to hire a part-time junk vehicle coordinator who will help the program to be self-funding in the future. The price of junk vehicles has skyrocketed, so through that, our program will now be able to be self-sustainable in the future. Thank you. In total, we have had 4 semesters of small engine repair classes. We have had 5 basic maintenance vehicle maintenance classes, over 30 students, and we will continue to provide more. This program is near and dear to my heart because I have been a recipient of education and training from Cornerstone myself. I spent my youth in juvenile hall from 14 to 18 years old, and when I wanted to change my life, I was given an opportunity at our reentry home at New Beginnings. I spent 2 years at New Beginnings, and then I graduated. But during my time there, our founder and executive director wanted all of our clients, including myself, to be able to be trained in checking our own fluids, changing our own oil, checking our tire pressure, and so much more. His heart for this education was that we would not get upsold at repair shops and upcharged, and so that we would not be helpless if we were to break down on the side of the road with a flat tire. I think that this is education that everybody should know, so it's been a blessing to be a part of it. I am extremely grateful for what the Women's Fund has provided for myself and for other people that need a second chance, and to reenter society successfully with employable job skills and basic education. Thank you.
that is really inspiring. Thank you so much, Emily. What a fantastic, fantastic journey that you've been on, and everyone else has been in that program. Thank you. Our next speaker, our second speaker, is Jennifer Bassett with Hands for Hope. Do you need the podium?
Hi, I'm Jennifer Bassett. I'm the founder and executive director of Hands for Hope. And with me today is Emma Lopez, and she is a participant with Hands for Hope. And you'll get to hear a little bit more from her in a minute. But we are honored to be here tonight to share a little bit about what we've been up to the last few years. We are so grateful for the continued support of Women's Fund El Dorado, which actually began in 2013 with the launch of our Hands for Hope Service Learning Club at Herbert Green Middle School. And this club is still flourishing today. So please watch for a check-in with the young man who helped make this club possible. He started it, and his story is going to be in an upcoming Women's Fund newsletter. So you will want to see every word that he writes, because it talks about the impact that you made so long ago that is continuing today. In addition to helping launch this club, your support over the years has helped provide scholarships for Leadership Camp for students without the financial means. You've helped expand our club program to El Dorado High School and launch our recently opened Placerville Youth Center. Most recently, the Women's Fund El Dorado provided funding for the continuation and growth of our emergency food pantry housed at this youth center. This past year and a half has been challenging for all of us, and we are so grateful to you for supporting Hands for Hope Youth Making a Difference and making it possible for our team to pivot and make the needed changes in order to continue to engage youth, make a real difference for them and for those they serve. Emma Lopez, who is standing here with me, has been intricately involved in our Placerville programs and is going to share some highlights with you, as well as her experiences with these. Help me welcome Emma Lopez.
Okay, I haven't had to give any in-person presentations in a while, so a little bit nervous. But my name is Emma Lopez, and I'm a senior at El Dorado High School. I've been with Hands for Hope for about a year now. Over the time, I have been part of the high school club at El Dorado, and I have been on the Emergency Food Pantry Committee. A little bit about me. I moved from Sacramento about a year ago. I didn't know anybody. I moved during COVID. So I went on a limb. I went to that random event on Parent Square, and I was like, okay, let me try this. It was the Fall Food Roundup with Hands for Hope. And I actually ended up meeting one of my closest friends there. Such a positive experience, and I found countless peers and adult mentors that still support me to this day. It allowed me to form a drive and maintain that and partake in the community. During this time, I've been able to partake in several events, such as the Green Valley Community Church, Route 66, the Fall Food Roundup, the Winter Boutique, and the Delfino Farms Farm to Fork event. This has allowed me to feel like I have a real impact. I've developed a voice, and I'm able to help others build up theirs. I first-handedly am able to see Hands for Hope mission, which is to inspire and empower youth in leadership and service. I'm able to look back at my personal growth and understand how far I've come as a member of the community, and look around me and see the power of Hands for Hope and the character and the effortless teamwork between youth and adult mentors. And despite the pandemic, Hands for Hope has been able to maintain their youth participation throughout the high school and middle school clubs. Our project at El Dorado last year was specifically aimed at seniors, and as a team, we were able to create over 1,000 cards and 1,000 crafts and supply them with 150 meals. Our participants have greatly increased due to the ability of in-person meetings now at school. It's easily accessible for all just during lunch. And personally, I've got to represent Hands for Hope during both years during the Club Rush and the Freshman Orientation. That allows me to meet new youth and share my experiences with them. And despite COVID, youth as a collective have been able to maintain their community involvement with about 6,000 hours and 186 outreaches and projects. Formed during the pandemic, Hands for Hope youth and adults have come together with the Emergency Food Pantry. It was originally stocked with over 3,000 pounds of food from the Fall Food Roundup. And in order to maintain the stock pantry, many schools and districts have done drives with generous donations from Twin Lakes and Placer Food Banks. This has allowed us to keep our surplus of food for our recipients. Personally, I've been able to pack the bag with the various balanced meals, and I get to see what goes in this, and I get to see the joy on the faces of the people I'm handing it to. It's such a great experience, and it has allowed me to develop strong, positive relationships with those I get to work with. We've been able to utilize this grant to increase our space at the Placerville Youth Center. It has allowed for more storage for our emergency food pantry and allows us to serve a greater number of families more efficiently. We have worked with EDCO to reach families that are most in need. And since we've opened the emergency food pantry, we have distributed a total of 304 boxes of food. The personal impact of the food pantry on me is the improvement of my time management, my teamwork, leadership, organization, communication skills, and so many more. It has really allowed me to see the impact that I can have on others. And it allows me to teach youth that are younger and older than me from different schools, allowing me to form more relationships with people I never thought I would. I've been able to personally see the growth of our youth center as well. I got to see it while it was under construction to being part of the tours during the grand opening and getting to see all the youth's personal art in there and the beautiful colors. The location is also really convenient. It's so close to the middle school and high schools, allowing for connection and access to all students. Okay. Unfortunately, you guys all know about the Caldor fire, how it left many with nothing. But we were able to open the Placerville Youth Center and provide evacuees with some basic needs, including toiletries, clothing, food, tents, blankets, and even gift cards. We also took supplies out to the evacuation centers and overflow sites, such as the Walmart parking lot and other areas where they were at. Personally, I am thankful for Hands for Hope's perseverance during times such as the pandemic and even the Caldor fire. The reliability of Hands for Hope has allowed for countless of families and individuals to have somewhere to turn for support. I am so thankful for my opportunity to learn and grow as an individual with the support, such as the adult mentors and Jennifer. And I want to thank the Women's Fund El Dorado, for helping make all of this possible and for your continued support of Hands for Hope, Youth Making a Difference. It allows for further inclusion of youth like myself, and we continue to serve those struggling in our community. Thank you.
Yep, way to bring in the rain. I think anybody who lives in California absolutely loves it when it rains. We're going to transition slightly a little bit right now and have our Wickline scholar come up. If I could call it Tanya Langland. Tanya Langland. This is
how I like it in French.
That's right.
Why not?
Wow. You know, this is ideally how I pictured my speech to be. Said no one ever. Hi, guys. I definitely don't need any cue cards. I'll make this fast and short because I can see this is going to be a good time because Mother Nature told me. My name is Tanya Langland. I'm one of the Wickline Scholar recipients. Let me give a little background. I got my bachelor's about 10 years ago in social services. Anybody who's been in social services, you know you don't go into it for the money. And if you did, you messed up. Let's go back to hello. Right? We already know. Anyway, right before I got my bachelor's, I ended up getting pregnant. Oops. And not a bad way. Trust me, it was wonderful in the end. About a week before I got my bachelor's, I ended up giving birth. And I decided, I want to go back for my master's, but my child is so small. This is just not realistic. As a woman, you decide you've got to be a mother. So I decided to be a mother, and I decided, when this child can make a cup of noodle in the microwave, I'm going to go back for my master's. I swear on my life. So one day, true story, can't even make this up, 8 years old, this child, she's like, I need a baba. And I'm like, okay, I got to go to the bathroom. I'm going to do whatever, child. I come back. She made a cup of noodle. And then it clicked. I was like, oh my gosh, that bucket list thing about my master's. I'm going to have to get my master's in healthcare administration now. So really, I did that night. I went ahead and registered. Little did I know that there would be this massive pandemic. And this is kind of how my life has been. Actually, right now, we can just kind of, can't even make it up. Getting pregnant on my bachelor's right before you graduate, master's, a huge COVID pandemic. So I ended up getting a job. Let me backtrack back to the bachelor's. I ended up getting a job at Western Slope for the last 10 years. I was their social service director, discharge planner, activities director. I know, I did so good, they just kept giving me more jobs. So with that said, I was like, okay, well, it's time to move on. I'm going to go open up my own facility or go do something myself, And that's where that master's, that heat came in. I've been serving our El Dorado seniors for a long time. Little did I know it'd be during a pandemic, the worst of my life or anybody else's. So let me tell you how this scholarship came aboard and how it's helped me. As you know, as a social worker, you don't make a lot of money. So when I heard about the scholarship, I was sitting there and I had every single resident, and 72 residents had COVID, including myself. They said, Tanya, you're so lucky. Wow, that's a good time. I'm sorry, I hope that's all right. Tanya, you're so lucky. You get to work. You have COVID, it's okay. Everybody has COVID. It doesn't matter. Just go to work. And my job was, yeah, I know, welcome to my life. My job was to go in and to help and to make sure and tell patients when they're good to get them on hospice. So that day I was sitting in my office. I had already called 2 patients to tell them, unfortunately, your mom's not going to make it through this. True story. Then I get a call from my financial aid representative. Mind you, I've been working 40 to 60 hours a week this entire master's. And they said, Tanya, congratulations. You have 3 classes left. And I was like, yes, I do. And I'm already teary-eyed because I'm telling my people that it's such a humbling experience, this COVID thing, that they're passing. And he said, bad news, Tanya. And I go, what? He said, you don't have funding for the last 3 classes. I'm like, bah. And he's like, no, it's January starting. The FAFSA said you don't have funding. And I was like, oh my gosh, what should I do? I cried a bit because now my patients are passing. I'm in the middle of a COVID pandemic. I have COVID myself. I'm in one of the worst days of my life. But you know, that's the thing about women. You're empowering. You have babies. You do things. You decide to be special. And I said, okay, I'm going to call my grandma because that's what you do. You And she's here today. She's right there. And I called my grandma because that's what you do. And I said, Grandma, what do I do? And she said, well, we pray. And I said, okay, I've been on a lot of prayer chains, on my grandma's prayer chains. I think I'm in Africa in a prayer chain right now to get married. So I was like, Grandma, what should we do? And she's like, well, Tanya, I'll pay for the first class and we'll figure it out. I went on Facebook. This is random. Then stimulus check. Thank you. Stimulus check. Whoop, whoop. And then the second one, I looked on Facebook and I saw Amy Pooley had posted something about a WIC line scholarship. And I'm like, that's totally me. I got this. I'm older and I need help. I need help right now. Financial. And so, and so anyway, long story short, I applied. Next thing I know, I got approved. I cried tears of joy. I think my grandma did too. And she said, you know what, that's God's work right there. And anyway, I'm a born and raised El Dorado County girl. I currently just now received a new job as an administrator at New West Haven, exactly what I was asking for. I've been doing everything. So I will tell you, your money is going to good work. And I promise you, I will not leave this community. This is my community. I will be with the elderly. I know I look like I'm 5. It's the Botox. I'm actually 10. But I plan to stay here until the end. And I will continue to run buildings. I will continue to be in healthcare. And I want to thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart because that was probably the worst day of my life, only to hear I figured out a way to pay for my last class. So that's how it worked. So thank you guys so much, and I apologize for the rain.
That is amazing. Oh my goodness. What an incredible story. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Paul, I don't know how you're going to go after that one. Honestly. That was just amazing. Tanya, thank you so much for sharing that incredible story with us. And that's just an amazing example of what the work of the Women's Fund and all of our members, because the Women's Fund is our members. That's what we are, is the members. So thank you so much for sharing that. We need to bring you back next year. So on my very soggy script here from Amy, we want to bring forward Paul Tomei from Studio 81 to bring us home. It looks like you have a very special person with you. Why don't you guys come on up?
Hello, we're here to do a little number from Singing in the Rain. I thought that would be a good time. I'm going to say this right. We do have entertainment for you. But anyway, before we get started with that, I'm Paul Tomei. I'm the drama teacher at El Dorado High School. And this is my 24th year as the drama teacher at El Dorado. It brings me great pleasure and thankfulness to be a part of this community and to be here tonight to thank everyone that had anything to do with here from the Women's Fund to fund our project of Ranked, the musical, that we had the opportunity to perform, thanks to you guys for making this possible, and as well as the Latrobe Foundation for kicking in too. And the funds went to a very, very good cause. It was a dream come true. This Inner Arts program that was established actually when I was in high school years ago. I've born and raised in El Dorado County and went from kindergarten to high school in this wonderful county of ours. And there was a program called Inner Arts when I was in high school that changed my life. And it was Pete Miller and Jim Orr and Lorna Perpall and some very big legends in our town that changed my life when I was 14, 15 years old. And I was very shy. I was not into public speaking. I'd never thought I'd be a drama teacher, go on stage and do these things. But the program that they had established was taking all the high schools in the area and creating a program that would bring everyone together in the performing arts. And you got to meet people from all the different high schools. It allowed me to perform for the very first time at the Empire Theater when it was a theater. Raise your hand if you remember that. It was, and then I saw, I think, Star Wars there. Once it was the movie theater. But anyways, I performed in a play called Carnival, and it was performed in the theater at the Empire Theater. And Jim Orr had directed it, and Pete Miller was my drama teacher at the time. And it was my first performance of my life. And it sort of, I'm still in contact with a lot of those folks that I had the opportunity to meet in high school because of that program from all different schools. So fast forward to the funding that we received to do this Inner Arts program again, with a very special performance of a musical called Ranked, music written by David Taylor, who was also a former student of mine, and Kyle Holmes, a colleague, who wrote this musical that has gone on to be very, very popular, dealing with what it means to be ranked in high school and the pressures that high school students are faced with on a daily basis. And the musical they have written has gone on to be picked up by an HBO documentary that's to come out. We might be in it, which will be very exciting if we are. We hope. We don't know if they'll use our cuttings, but we're hoping for that. So it's this musical was very special to me on various levels, and the fact that the students hadn't had a chance to perform for over a year in all the local high schools because of COVID. All of the spring musicals were canceled, and they had no opportunities. This really did magnetize the experience to even a further level, allowing 60 students from the 4 different high schools, a chance to be involved on stage or backstage, working at a really high level of performance with 5 different teachers from the district working together on this, reaching out to over 1,800 audience members. So it turned out to be a very successful program that I would love to continue doing, because I know how the arts changed my life. And how many countless students that I've had the opportunity to see establish, not just because it's the arts, but a connection, a deep connection to something meaningful. And I'm here with Kelsey Hovercroft tonight, who played the lead role in, oh, hi. Dumb dog, why are you following me? That's from Annie. I don't know why I'd have a reference to Annie the musical right now. That's the least that you'd be expecting at this point. Nevertheless, Kelsey is here to say a few words about what the experience meant to her and to sing a little song for you guys tonight. So this is Kelsey Hovercroft.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Hovercroft. I'm a 17-year-old senior at Union Mine High School. When I first heard about the Inner Arts program at Studio 81, I was so excited that an opportunity for live performance was coming back to our community. This experience has not only brought me close to my friends that I would have never met without this program, but also exposed me to the true values of telling stories with people you love for the people you love. Ranked the Musical tackles relevant issues in a sense that school forces students to be perfectionists. It feels like you have to have your whole life figured out before you're an adult, and that everything depends on a letter grade. I really did resonate with my character, and my big takeaway from the show is to acknowledge that imperfection is okay, and that it's okay to allow yourself to breathe. Tonight, I will be singing Work Harder from Ranked the Musical.
All right, we're going to check our sound here.
I've always been the good little sister. Never even tried to speak my mind. Just keep my lips on lock. Don't take the chance to talk. But the thoughts in my head still scream and shout. Once or twice I've forgotten how to smile and play nice. Let out one thought, then Lily, just shut your mouth. You don't know what you're talking about. No one listens to me. They're too busy speaking. Don't tell me to hurry up and wait. Then tell me that I'm still too late. When you're yelling, Lily, this is our fate. We work harder, work smarter. It seems like there's no way to win here. It feels like I might spend the whole year working harder, working smarter, working for a break that's never coming. I tell myself not to freak out, 'cause you know that totally always works. Just breathe, you'll be fine. That's nice, but it's not really helping. Although I don't want to do this, I think the only way out is to go through this. So why does this feel so wrong? I don't know where I belong. I just know where I don't want to be. I don't want to hurry up and wait to then find out that I'm still too late. I'm here yelling, this is not my fate. To work harder, work smarter. But when the pressure is on, will I make it? If I had a choice, would I take it? When you don't have a voice, you never have a choice. I have to compete. There's no way around it. If there's a way out, then I haven't found it. That can't be right. I don't have to fight. But no matter what I think, it doesn't change anything. Why do I have to fight till I turn blue? There's got to be another way out. Is this my fate? Is this my fate? To work harder. Just breathe, you'll be fine. Just breathe, you'll be fine. Just breathe, you'll be fine.
Yeah, give it up for Kelsey. And it's been since June since she sang that. So thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate the opportunity to share with you tonight. And thank you so much for the generous money, I guess. Yeah, the generous the generosity in general. Thank you so much, and thank you for everything. Appreciate it.
Wow, I felt like I was 14 again. I remember that. That's the beauty of art and song is it's just all this emotional, visceral, instant connection and to what that felt like when we were in high school. So thank you so much. That was amazing. Thank you. So that finishes our guest speakers for this evening. So we're just going to wrap up here. I want to reiterate again that the Women's Fund is you. This organization is you. We would not be able to give the grants and have the results and make the impact on people's lives without each and every one of you. So if it's time for you to renew your membership, if it's time for you to join for the first time or maybe come back if you were a member previously and you'd like to come back, we can't do this without each and every person. One person can't do it alone, but we can't do it without each and every one of you. So please do consider finding Vera and Amy at the table back there, renewing your membership or joining or coming back. This is getting very floppy here. A couple other things that I want to remind you, we do have openings on every single one of our 7 committees, so just want to reiterate that we really, really look forward to having new faces, new ideas, new contributions, new paths to take the committees that we have, so please do consider volunteering. The flowers that you have on your tables were made by the incredibly talented students at Ponderosa. If there's an envelope underneath your bouquet, it means someone has not bought it yet. If there's no envelope, that means someone has bought it. But they're $10 a piece if you would like to take one of the bouquets home with you. And I think where's my glasses? My glasses disappeared. I think that's it for announcements. So thank you for sitting through with the rain. That was a nice surprise. Thank you so much for coming out and joining us for our first event in almost a year and a half. We're thrilled to have all of you here. And go back to the table and renew and join a committee. Thank you.